guys, it's your one and only girl Rose White. If you've not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, what are you waiting for? Run and hit the subscribe button, put it in all, like and share. Whenever I upload any video, you will be the first person to be notified. To my old subscriber, thank you for being there for me, and to my returning subscriber, God bless you all.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. This is Radio Biafra House Service coming to you via the Archdiocese of Radio Biafra, London. My name remains Mazi Jonathan Chinedu. Today is the 26th day of November in the year of our Lord 2021. Without wasting any time, I will hand over the platform, the mic, to the head of the directorate, Mazi Chike Doziem. Mazi, over to you. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mazi Jonathan, and I hope I am very clear coming out, please.
You are. Go on, please.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and good night to all of you wonderful and great people of Biafra. My name is Mazi Chika Edoziem. I come from Ihe Oma. Ihe Oma is in Olo province of Biafra land. And it is by the grace of Chukwuabiama that I serve the indigenous people of Biafra in the Directorate of State as the head of directorate. Biafrans, the battle is on. The battle is on in the reigns of the Spirit. And as it is said, we battle not against flesh and body, but against principalities and against spiritual wickedness in high places. We must understand that this struggle, that this movement is founded upon the goodness of Chukwuabia. It is founded upon the truth of Chukwuokike. It is founded upon the light of heaven. That is the reason why our leader, the supreme leader of this great movement, he does nothing without, or he begins nothing without, first of all, committing that which he wants to do into the hand of God. And at the same time, at the end of all his program, he as well calls upon heaven that they may take proper position in the lives of his children, the Biafran people. Now, why do I say that the battle is on in the realms of the Spirit? We have done what, and we are still doing, of course, what we have to do as human beings. But those who are aware, those who are very, very observant, they must have seen, they must have noticed that things are happening that are beyond the explanation of mortals. Things are happening that are beyond the understanding of ordinary men. It is in this regard, therefore, that we must intensify that battle. We, the indigenous people of Biafra, we must intensify the spiritual battle for the restoration of Biafra and for the unconditional release of the leader of this great movement, Kanu. Therefore, great Biafrans, wonderful indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, I want to let you know that we are going to embark once again on a one-day prayer in Biafra land. We will embark upon a one-day prayer in Biafra land. And this prayer will be called, the title of it will be Unity and Peace Prayer Day in our land. Unity and Peace Prayer Day in the land of Biafra. And I need to explain so that I will not be misunderstood in any manner. When we say unity, of course, we know that there can never be any unity between darkness and light. And the children of light, the indigenous people of Biafra, we cannot unite with darkness. And we cannot unite with those who do not wish us well. But the unity that I'm talking about here is the unity that will make sure that every facet of our society in Biafra land take part in this coming prayer that we are going to do next week. And I'm going to give you the date of the day of this prayer. On the 30th of November, being a Day, because in our land we know we have 4 market days. We have Eke, we have Ori, we have Afon, we have Nkwo. And Eke is a very important day, not only in the cosmos, not only in the life of Biafrans, but in creation itself. So on the 30th of November, being Eke Day, and I believe the 30th of November is the last day of November, and it's supposed to be, I believe, not supposed, but I think it is a Tuesday. On this very day, Biafrans of all walks at night shall dedicate that day to a prayer for unity and peace in our land. Now, the main theme of that prayer will be the unconditional release of Onyendumazi Nnamdi Kanu, the unconditional release of our leader, as we will commit him into the hand of Chukwuokike on that day. Then we will ask heaven to do the battle that they have been doing for us, for him, and for the Biafran people, and open the gates of the prison yard that his servant may walk out free, as he did in the days of old. Again, we must pray for the restoration of Biafra. We must pray for the quick restoration of Biafra sovereignty, actually, not just the restoration, but for the quickest restoration of the Biafran sovereignty. People of all faith in Biafra land, be they Christians, be they people who are of the Jewish faith adherents, and the ordinary people, we shall all in one accord, we shall in one unison supplicate unto Chukwuabiyama, like I said, for the unconditional release of our leader and for the peace and unity in Biafra land. That is number 2. And 3, for the restoration of the sovereign and independent Biafran nation. We must as well, these are the three major points of this very prayer. I'm still going to come to how the prayer will be done. The 3 major points of the prayer is, first, the unconditional release of our leader. Second will be for the peace and unity in Biafra land, that the enemy who have invaded us, those who are within us, who are the tools that the enemy outside is using to spill the blood of innocents. These people, of course, they have no place in our land. We will ask heaven to do justice to them, so that peace shall reign in our land and unity amongst the children of Biafra. And then we must ask heaven to expedite action in the restoration of the sovereign and independent Biafran nation. Now the details of this prayer will be this way. Please, people must understand that what manifests in the physical first manifests in the spiritual. And I know why I am telling Biafrans to embark upon this very prayer on the 30th of November. Things are happening and things will continue to happen, and it will be, Oyende said, when Biafra will come, it will be like a theme. Well, it's going to be a miracle actually. And people will be not expecting the coming of Biafra as they were not expecting the coming of Onyendu. But he's here and he's doing the work that heaven has sent him to do. On this very day, we are going to make one more sacrifice. Every Biafran in Biafra land, we will make one more sacrifice for this very important event. I am not declaring any sit at home on the 30th of November 2021. But on that day, Biafrans will dedicate that day as a day of prayer. Markets shall not open, schools will not open, banks will not open, and offices will not open. For the good of our land, we must make this sacrifice. People will be able to go to churches on this very day. And this prayer in the churches will be led by our pastors, our priests, our reverend fathers, and whatever you have, evangelists, and the rabbis. On this day, the churches should make sure that their church compound is made available to those who live around. Every church in Biafra land on this day, the priests and pastors and reverend fathers must ensure that they will lead this prayer. They will lead those who are able to come within their walls, within their compound, and supplicating to heaven, and of course, Chukwuabiama, for victory over our enemies. And please, we must stand in the open. We must stand in the open, not inside the church. We must make sure that the sun shines upon us, the daylight is shining upon us. If it will rain on that day, we must make sure that the rain falls upon us. While this prayer is being conducted, and like I said, every bishop, every priest, every pastor, evangelist, and reverend father, you have a part to play on this day. And that is why we are not saying sit at home, because our people must have the opportunity to move to the churches closer to them and join in one spirit and in one accord for the three key points of the prayer. The unconditional release of our leader Onyenumazi Nnamdi Kanu. We pray for the peace and unity of Biafran people in Biafra land. And we pray for the quickest yes, for the immediate restoration of the sovereign and independent Biafran nation. While the pastors are leading the prayers in the church compound, if a church does not have a compound, make sure that you are outside anywhere that is just around the church, but you have to ensure that the light of heaven is touching those who are calling upon heaven. Because anytime light comes in, darkness goes away. Darkness can only be present because light has not come in. But once light appears, there is nothing like darkness. Therefore, the light of heaven must shine upon us on that day while we conduct this prayer in the churches. Now, the same will go for those of us who are of the Jewish faith. The rabbis shall lead this prayer on this very day. It is a special day of prayer, and we do not even think that we will bring in anything that will be disunited. For it is like we are joining our hands and our voices together to call upon heaven. And then the people who believe in our Ordinana, the people we call the Ordinana people. The Ordinana people will also gather in different areas and places, and in the manner that our ancestors prayed, they must also call upon the spirits that own Biafra land. They must call upon the spirit that guide Biafra land. And they must call upon Chukwuabiama for the unconditional release of our leader, for peace and unity in Biafra land, and for the immediate restoration of the sovereign nation of Biafra. Our king has a part to play, as our priests and bishops also have a part to play in this. The Ndiezes, the kings of Biafra land, will also come out to pray in the manner that our ancestors prayed in the days of old. The Ordinana people and our kings must get one kola nut on that day. And that kola nut as well must have 4 loaves. 4 loaves of kola nut, you get it. And as usual, the light of heaven must shine upon your kola nut, and the light of heaven must shine upon you as you pray and call upon heaven and call upon the spirit that own Biafra land. Now I'm talking about the Ordinana people. The Ordinana people and our kings, because the kings are the custodians of our culture and tradition. Therefore, they must do the thing that promotes our culture, and they must do the things that our ancestors did in the days past, even when man can no longer remember. Now, there are those that are called Akajiofo na Igbo. Akajiofo na Biafra. Let me put it that way. Because in every part of Biafra, every community has a man that holds the offer in that community. These people are numerous to count, but they will come if the offer of the community is in the hand of the Onyeze. The Onyeze will also bring the offer at the place of prayer. And at the end of the prayer, when they have concluded their prayer, they shall bring the offer and hit it on the ground. I want to repeat this because this part is very, very key and very important. Those who are the Akaji offer in Biafra land, we know that there are people who we are called, who we are given this gift, but they rejected it because of one reason or the other. You must not reject what the gift that heaven has given to you, because there's no way you can run away from the duty that is destined that you must carry out for your people. Therefore, every Akajuofor must come out on that day, if they also will join the kings, or they will gather with the Ordinana people. As after the orgy has been shown to heaven, the prayers are prayed, the kola nut will be broken and thrown to the spirit. Don't eat the kola nut, please. Do not eat the kola nut. That belongs to the spirit that owns the Biafra land. And once that is thrown to them, the Akajuofor must raise the offer and hit it on the ground as the prayer is being concluded. And what we have spoken in the physical realm, so shall it be in the spiritual realm. And the battle will continue on our behalf by our ancestors. The battle will continue on our behalf by the spirits that own Biafra land, because it is their land that is being run over by foreigners. We must call upon them to come and reclaim what belongs to them for their children. We must call upon Chukwoki not to be more angry with us, because we know we have done a lot of evil, because we turned our back onto him and followed what man made, followed the work of man's hand. When we have done this, when we have all in one accord done our prayer in the churches, in the synagogues, the compounds, not inside the churches, not inside the synagogue, and of course the ordinary as well. All of this prayer must be done in the open, and we will have done what we were asked to do. And the battle, of course, we will be doing what we are supposed to do as human beings, but the battle is no longer simply our battle. We have called down heaven, and we have called up the spirits that own our land to move and do battle for us. You can remember, those who believe, who know the Bible very well, there are times when the children of Israel will go to war. They will go to war, and even when they are going to war, their enemies are mightier than them. And they will be wondering, how can we do this? And what normally happens is that they will consult the prophets of the land. And when they have consulted the prophets of the land, the prophets will tell them the message of Chukwabia. Sometimes the Israelites will go to the camp of the enemy, and they will see that even the enemies are no longer there. They did not throw any spear or any sword. They did not do nothing. But heaven fought on their behalf. The spirit of the land that guides the land of Israel fought for the children of Chukwabiyama. That is what we are going to do on the 30th of November 2021. I must ask our people to do one more sacrifice for this, our liberation. One more sacrifice for the restoration of the sovereign nation of Biafra. One more sacrifice for the unconditional release of our leader, Onyenimazin Kanu. The enemy know who you are. They know who you are. You are the people who do not know who you are, and the power that you possess to turn things around faster than you can imagine. This is the major reason, the major preoccupation of Biafrans beginning from today until the 30th. And please, people should go about their duties on Monday. And then on Tuesday, we will sacrifice that day for this day of prayer, for the unity of our land, in our land, and for peace in our land, and of course, for the restoration of Biafra and the release of our leader, Yandemazen and Nikano. Ordinary Biafrans, I will not expend any time and energy on inconsequential things. But because I have a responsibility, because I have a duty to properly inform IPOB family members, specifically IPOB family members, and guide them properly and accordingly. Because why I said I don't have the time to spend on inconsequential, because we have more pressing things that require our attention and require our time. The leadership that Oyendu has put in place, we have more pressing things to do as it concerns the release of our leader and as it concerns the restoration of Biafra. But it is better that we inform Biafrans, and anybody who decides willingly to fall into the pit, then that person shall have himself or herself to blame. The blood of the person shall not be on the head of the leadership of this very great movement. Now, listen and listen good, please, Biafrans. There is no vacancy in the IPOB leadership. There is no vacancy. There will never be any vacancy. There was no vacancy in 2015. Recall back, Biafrans. Let history teach you. Recall back what we are passing through now. History is our strength. We have passed it through in 2015. We went through it and we came out victorious. Don't let the devil use you. Don't let like Onyendu said, don't let Satan enter into you. And we know that many of you are head of head. There is no vacancy in IPOB leadership. The leader of this movement is Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu Hamadikewan, the supreme leader, the commander of the Eastern Security Network, and the director of Radio Biafra. Mazi is alive and breathing, and people are talking nonsense. If I curse them, they will say Mazi Duzim is cursing people. But I am telling them that after the 30th, what they see, they must take it. Now, in the first place, hypothetically, it is not possible. It is completely impossible to lead a nation to which you do not belong to which you are not a citizen. You cannot, like you're a zoo man now, a person from the zoo, you just travel to England, and then maybe they give you a visa, you go to England, and then you say you want to rule them. Who born the person? They have not born that person. IPOB is a nation. IPOB is a nation of great and wonderful people. How then can anyone contemplate becoming a leader of this great movement when such a person is not even a family member of IPOB? How is it possible, my people? I ask, is it possible? There will be no gate crashing in IPOB. There will be no gate crashing. This is not a tea party that we have come into. We are in a freedom fighting mode. This is a freedom fighting movement. If you want to gate crash, of course, you get crash, you go into the bush that you want to, without informing the people who are fighting for their freedom. You just go into the bush. You hear what you go here now. The people will hear what will happen. The person will hear what will happen. Nobody will even tell him before he realizes that this is probably will not be allowed to talk about what he experienced. So as far as IPOB is concerned, as far as this struggle is concerned, there will be no gate crashing and there is no vacancy in the leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra. Our people must be very, very, very vigilant. I need to say that again, be very vigilant in order not to fall prey to the wolves going about bribing you with money. Money that people contributed for ESN. This is blood money. Money that is, how will I say, that is budgeted specifically for the destabilization of this movement. That money that the enemy will give those that they are giving, and then they will give it to you, it is also blood money, because the blood of our people has been spilled uncountable, and their blood their blood is crying unto heaven for vengeance. Don't fall prey. I warn you. Don't let yourself be don't let yourself be roped into the recompense that will come against every man and against every woman who has stood against this very struggle and who has stood against our liberation. Those that are walking and those that are accepting this bribe, this Nigerian way of life, because ask yourself, if somebody is bribing you from with whatever, that and that person is bribing you, and does it not make sense to you that there is no moral foundation or moral background for that person to even come to tell you that you have to listen to what that person is telling you? Bribery and corruption, it can't and will not be part of the Biafran society. Both the giver and the taker shall receive their recompense from the spirit of those who have been killed. The blood of the victims that are crying for vengeance, they shall recompense those who gave and those who received. I warn you today, being the 26th of November 2021. Finally, great Biafra, finally, let me say on a very, very good note, pleasant note, if I might say, let me say that I am very proud of many of you in the media. You are truly our warriors, and you have to keep it up. You must keep it up. Don't look back. Don't look sideways. Continue on the path of truth. You have shown that many of you sat at the feet of our leader like many of us did. And we drank from the wisdom and knowledge that emanated from his lips. That is why there are many hardcore Biafrans. You cannot change their perspective. Whatever you do, you cannot change their outlook. You cannot change their mind. You cannot deceive them. You cannot bribe them, because they heard directly from the master. They heard it directly, and they imbibed the truth from the mouth of our leader, Onyedumazị Nnamdi Kanu. I want to tell you that you have been doing marvelously well, all of you in the media department, from the head to the bottom. I'm not going to call any name. I'm not going to call any name, because I know our people, how they handle praises. But I am commending. I am eulogizing. Pardon me, Oyibo, English is not my mother tongue. I'm eulogizing those of you who are doing excellently well in the media front. I am also commending you, those of you in Biafra land, those who have willingly and consciously continue to have faith in our leader, continue to have faith in this struggle, continue to have faith in the leadership that he put in place, the structure that he put in place. I am also commending all of you, because that you are the power base of this great movement, and do not allow anything to come between your faithfulness and loyalty to Onyendu, and of course between our march to freedom. Honestly, you people have made us proud, and you have made our leader proud. All those who are friends and supporters of Biafra, those who are speaking for us in high places, our local team, our diplomatic front as well. I am commending each and every one of us, but the battle is not yet over until, first of all, our leader rejoins us the soonest, and then the flag of Biafra is raised in the land of the free and the land of Biafra. Then we shall begin to really celebrate all of you, and to really thank you for your commitment, for your generosity, and of course for your faithfulness and loyalty to this very movement. Stay and keep up the good work. Keep up the good work, for victory is assured, and Biafra shall be restored. Biafra for us is not just a name. Many will only understand what Biafra is when Biafra has been restored. Many do not understand yet. They think it is a Facebook thing. They think it is what do you call it, a social media thing. They do not understand. Oh my goodness! But they will understand by that time. It may probably be late for some of them, but for us, those who have understood what it means to be free, those who understand what it means to have liberty, those who understand what it means to have your destiny in your own hand and control your destiny, those who understand that the zoo is a burial ground for innovation. That is why we say it is Biafra or nothing. And on that we stand. And on that, of course, the whole leadership of this very movement stands. And Biafrans worldwide, I believe, we stand on this very mantra that it is Biafra or nothing, because we want to ensure that our destiny, we control it. We want to ensure that our children cannot just finish school and they have no perspective, they have no hope, they have nothing that they can look forward. It is our heritage. That is what Biafra is. Biafra is our identity. And there is nothing else that we know that can replace that identity, if not Biafra itself. And it is only Chukwuabiama that we worship. It is only Chukwokike that we bow down to. The ancients. Ndibo, you are a privileged nation, great Biafrans. You are, if you know that you are a Biafran, you are a privileged nation, because you have a direct connection to heaven. Okaramado, Okaramo, half man, half spirit. But sin has taken away the part in us that the enemies know. That is why I said they know who you are, but you yourself do not know who you are. But we can, it is not too late. It is not too late, as we will begin the journey of restoration, the journey of restoration of our values from the 30th of November 2021. We must make sure that that day is done in unison and that prayer takes place. And we must keep our eyes open and make sure that we do not fall into the pit that the enemy is digging for us. Once again, Biafra for us is not just a name. It is our identity, and if you lose your identity, you are nobody. We have been in the wilderness for too long. Time to return from the wilderness and go back into the promised land is now. Yes, time to leave Babylon and return to the land of the ancients is now. If you are a zoo soldier and a policeman in our land, and you are spilling the blood of our people in that same land, I think, in fact, you have no hiding place but to ameliorate your situation. You need to make haste and vacate Biafra land. Because we know what happened in the Benue Plains, the lower Benue Plains. We know what happened. We know what happened. That's why I'm saying history is on our side. We know what happened in the Benue Plains. It's going to repeat itself. If you want to be a victim, remain in our land. And Chukwokike will be praised at the end of this day. Therefore, from me, from here, I want to say to all of you, stay resolute, stay firm, stay committed, and be loyal to this very, very movement, and of course to the leader of this very great movement. And may Chukwabiyama keep all of you safe. Those of you in the war front in Biafra land, may Chukwokike guide and preserve all of you, and prepare for the 30th of November for a day of release and a day that the world must hear and see that, of course, Chukwokike is in charge in the affairs of men, and more especially in the affairs of his children, the children of light. And from me, from here, I want to say to you, good night and sleep well.
Thanks for watching. Remain blessed, and I will be coming back with more video. Bye bye guys.